Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hey.
There's the start.
That's how we start every
the opener.
Mm-hmm. Austin, Texas, huh?
Yes, sir.
Are you all from there, like native?
Chris and I are pretty much.
Yeah, born and raised for me.
Born and raised?
Yeah, I moved there when I was 5, so most of my life.
Pretty much same
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
Where are y'all from?
Midwest.
Midwest.
Jordan's from the Midwest. Our bassist Jordan's from the Midwest.
Okay.
He's like from all over, like Minnesota, Mississippi.
I was just wondering, we were doing our research.
Awesome.
Seems like y'all been a band since 2014.
Yep, that's right. Yeah,
That's a long
good
time.
job, man.
Yeah, well, I tried a little bit this morning. I'm not going to, I didn't, deep dive.
Yeah. Who the fuck are these guys? Yeah, whatever.
How'd you hear about this?
Jordan found it, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to see what was good in the Little Rock scene.
Yeah.
And just
Did y'all play here last night? No?
No. We did go to Sticky's, though.
Okay.
Yeah, we did go have some food, and I have some family that live in Benton.
Okay.
And so they came down
I
here.
live near there.
Really?
Yeah.
They came
I'm
down here.
from Dallas myself.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was born in Garland, so
Hey.
yeah, man.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
let me rephrase.
Yeah,
Because they get so picky, man. What the
Congratulations.
fuck?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
I was born in Dallas, and then I lived in Richardson. My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of all over. Heath's actually, our drummers, lived in Texas for a pretty long time, 20 years or so.
Y'all all live in Austin though now.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
Yes,
yeah.
we do.
Uh-huh.
We
That's
do.
awesome.
Yeah.
Austin's a city of transplants, though.
It's becoming like.
Oh,
I
dude.
was gonna ask, is it
Chris and I are unicorns.
because
pretty much.
6th Street is becoming the comedy hub of the world? Is that?
Well, you
Is
know,
it-
I mean,
is
it
it hurting
completely
the
died
music
down.
scene?
It completely died down. There was downtown was a ghost town during COVID, like
of
most,
course.
like
Yeah.
most places. So it's slowly but surely building back up. But the thing is, with all these people moving here, they've been building condos like crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going up everywhere. So it's kind of pushing some of the venues and stuff that used to be there. Some of the older venues have closed down.
The same
and
thing happened in Nashville
Yeah.
too.
It's
Oh yeah.
it's getting a little tougher, but they're still pretty vibrant.
Is
A lot
6th
of
Street
music
still
scene.
the street to go to?
I mean, it's still Dirty Six, man.
for music though,
No, I mean, I think people nowadays more tend to go to the east side or, I don't know,
Interesting.
suburb
Okay.
bars and venues.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a few south venues.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Get going.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. It's just really weird, but they're just constantly like, God, another condo, you know. But,
Yeah, I mean, fast growth is hard, so they usually build apartments, not,
Well, the thing is, Austin's it's been growing nonstop for 20, 30 years.
yeah, that's true.
It just hasn't ever
I
stopped.
haven't been there since 2009, so I'm sure I wouldn't even recognize the place.
I think something like
Oh, you wouldn't-
300
you wouldn't,
people
dude.
a day move in.
300 a day?
I looked. Yeah, I heard that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
That's too many
surprise
people
me.
a day.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody comes to Austin and they go to something like ACL Fest, Austin City Limits Music Festival,
Right.
or they come to South by Southwest.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh man, Austin is phenomenal," and they think that's how it is 24 hours a day,
Right. Yep.
And so they get this kind of misconception,
Yes.
and then they move here, and then that's
They're
what,
it's just another
Yeah.
city. Fuck.
but that's how we end up with so many people, you know.
To be fair, I do have those misty. When I was there, it was only for you're only in a spot for 8 hours.
Right.
But we had such a good time. I still have so many stories from that city, just in this one day span.
It's fun to ball out there and just have fun. It's great, but traffic's horrible.
Oh, I can't imagine, dude. I can't.
It's still a beautiful city though. It's still cool.
Well, they're injecting a buttload of money into that dude right now.
Yeah.
So, do y'all have a place to play that, because y'all's genre, we were listening to it earlier. I like it. I've never
Thank
even
you.
heard of you guys, so I was
Okay.
like, oh, let me check it out.
Right on.
I don't want to be that guy and just be like, well, what do you sound like? Oh, it's pop music? Well, that's cool. Is there venues for that kind of, with the bigger population, it's probably a lot easier to get an audience.
Well, I think it just varies. Like there's some venues that are kind of so Psych rock is a big deal.
Yeah.
In Austin, there's a big psych rock scene, punk and metal. Definitely
here.
have their place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But pretty much, at least Chris, myself, and Heath, we came from pretty like hard rock,
Yeah.
metal, progressive
yeah.
backgrounds.
Sure.
Yep.
And when Heath and I initially started this band in 2014, we wanted to do something that was a little outside our comfort zone, something that we hadn't really done before, and because we were just kind of burned out on kind of the same thing for too long.
Sure.
And so that was kind of the premise behind White Label Analog, and just to have fun.
Yeah.
And so that's what we do, is we kind of experiment musically a little bit, but we fall in that indie rock
Yep.
category with a little bit of pop thrown in.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
but thank you. Yeah, there are venues that play us. We're not the soup du jour in Austin, though, for sure.
Right. Well, I
Yeah.
just didn't know like if there's 1 million people in a place, because we have like 300,000 people. It's nothing.
Yeah, Austin's like around a million-ish.
This is like
Over a million.
Is it
Over a million.
harder, easier? I don't know. Like here, it's pretty much. We have a very unique music scene. Everything's connected because it's just not that many people. So even like what y'all would be for us would be like we have a band called Frail State, probably in that same.
Okay.
There might even be a little poppier. What do you think, Kurt? Probably a little more
say,
pop.
yeah.
Yeah. But like, there's like venues for them and a scene for them, but they can kind of hop all over. I didn't know if it was
That's
like
cool. We do. We actually do. We used to play pretty regularly. I don't know if you've ever heard of Stubbs.
Stubbs.
Barbecue. Yeah, Stubbs. We
absolutely. Yeah.
played there. We used
Every
to,
Walmart in the world.
we used to do really well there before COVID, and then they quit doing. So they have an amphitheater stage, which is probably a couple thousand
Jesus.
capacity.
Yeah.
And then they have an indoor stage, which was pretty small, probably like 150 cap or something.
That's small,
at
right?
best.
150.
But we used to, or maybe around 200, because I know we did shows that were 1 to 200 pretty consistently. But then after COVID, they stopped doing the indoor shows unless they do an after party, and then they'll do like if they have a national act on the amphitheater stage, they'll do an after show on the indoor. But that's pretty much it. But other than that, there's some other cool venues. We play the Far Out Lounge, played the Ballroom. We just played a place called the Courtyard downtown, which we hadn't played downtown in a long time, and ooh, wow, parking sucks even more.
Yeah. That was a nightmare.
Especially when you're driving a big ass van, it's
At least you don't have a trailer. I noticed there's no trailer.
yeah. We took it. We pulled out one of the seats and just stuffed it full of gear, so we wouldn't have
So
to
really,
pull a trailer.
you're only a 4-piece. I thought there would be 5
Yeah.
of y'all for some reason. I don't
No.
know.
Well, there was a keyboard player.
Yeah.
There you
long
go.
ago, but-
Okay.
We have a robot.
Yeah,
That's
we
our
have
fifth member is a robot.
Yeah.
knew it.
AI's
The
taking
MacBook
over,
Pro in the
man.
back.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
trained pretty good, though.
That's a lot of people's 5th member these days. Let's be honest. Like even heavy everything. There's always a computer right over there. You're like, damn.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a weird thing going on in the music industry because on the one hand, the sound of a lot of bands is getting more like artificial instruments,
Absolutely.
virtual instruments.
Yep.
But unlike 80s and 90s, rock bands aren't getting signed by these huge companies that take
Also
care of all
true.
that for you. So it's not like you can get signed and have a record label supply you with an orchestra or 5 extra musicians and
Right.
backup singers. So backing tracks are filling in that gap
And they
for
can
a lot
be
of
all
bands.
those things. That's a great point. I'm very like old school. Like, man, if I can't play it, I don't want.
See,
But I
used
get
to
it.
have
I
I
get
used
it.
to have that mindset when I came
Yeah.
in because when I started playing guitar, like my guitar teacher was all like, "Oh, blues is the greatest kind of music there is," and I was listening to like Allman Brothers and stuff, and I had that purist mindset. I can't remember what it was that changed it for me. I think it was just people introducing me to music, but I feel like I've finally. I don't want to say slaughtered that sacred cow, but kind of moved on. Like, changed my mind at least.
Sure.
I know you said we're not changing people's minds,
I mean,
but
I have-
changed my mind
Yeah.
about this. Like, I think because I feel like the same argument could be made from like, oh, why are you playing an electric guitar instead of an acoustic
Actually,
guitar?
absolutely.
Or why are you playing with a pick
And I'm
instead of
sure
your
there
fingers?
were those
Yeah.
arguments 200 years ago when it was
Yeah.
a thing like that.
I mean,
and even I'm like at home plugging into my laptop
Yep.
because I
Yep.
don't have a half stack at home. Like, I get it.
Yeah, I think the kind of philosophy I think we're using for the most part is like the audience I think is drawn out of it when there's like they get the sense that they're being played the trick is being played. So like if there's some amazing guitar lead, but my
And no
guitar's
one's doing
not
it.
plugged in,
Oh, I
you know,
see.
they're like, oh, he's tricking us.
If you're
you
not
know?
trying to trick them and they
Yeah.
understand it's coming out of this thing. And
But if it's clearly
That's a good-
something, yeah. So I don't know. My mindset is like, okay, the technically impressive parts of the music, we'll
a
play
great point of
those,
that, actually.
but we can have like a synth pad in the,
Right.
you know, or samples,
Rhythmic background things.
backup vocals when we don't have enough singers, things like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, when the band started out, we were
a great
all
point.
we were all analog. Like we had a keyboardist who
Yeah, do it
fulfilled all
live.
that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah. Absolutely.
we didn't use tracks for probably the first 4 or 5 years of the band. We didn't use tracks
Is this
at all.
is this y'all's first tour with tracks? Like,
With tracks, yes.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
tour.
have y'all
Yeah.
run into any like?
Nah,
Because like venues are sort of getting there.
Yeah,
but
no, it's just because it's just a 1/4 inch line
So y'all have
mono
it-
signal to the front of house.
y'all
It's
have
pretty,
it boiled down.
yeah,
Y'all
it's
aren't
pretty
bringing in,
easy.
like that rack job.
No. We've got a
okay.
laptop, and he's got a tray and his drum kit, and he's
play
got
to a
just like
click track?
one cable that runs out to the front of house.
Praise God for
Yeah,
y'all.
but,
praise you.
but
Praise
yeah,
you.
but
I
we
work at a venue here, and it is usually
really?
a fucking nightmare.
oh, wow.
We got 27. We're like, fuck, man, we only got 16 channels, bro. It's a fucking old dingy hallway.
But yeah, we didn't need him when we had a keyboardist. The problem was we had a hard time keeping a keyboardist, and so
Always.
yeah, like it's such a high in
different
demand.
breed of person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so we just got tired of replacing keyboardists. So we're like, well, let's just keep it simple. Less people in the band.
That's less inputs,
less
too,
headaches,
technically.
you know.
That's-
And it's really just the bells and whistles and some, a little bit of background
Yeah.
stuff. That's all. So we've tried to utilize it in the most efficient way we can.
If you got one input, we would love to. Just like come and like, oh, this is how it's done.
yeah, yeah.
Back to mono.
Well, we wanted something simple, so that one just seemed to be the best fit.
Right.
Yeah,
Y'all got two? Is it 2 records out?
we have an EP, a full length, and then we just did
Some
we
singles.
did a waterfall strategy where we released a bunch of singles
That's
and we
what it is.
rolled all that up into an EP.
Yeah.
So we just released a new EP with those singles April 19th. So it's called Maybe Tonight, Maybe Forever.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Nice. We listened to some of both, so it was
Okay,
like
cool.
I wanted to see the gap.
Right
It's
on.
like how
Yeah.
long
Yeah, well, COVID
did
COVID
they
didn't
get
fucking
better?
help.
Did they get worse?
COVID definitely didn't help. It's like definitely strung things out. But it gave us an opportunity. We kind of were going through. So these guys have been in the band for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
But we kind of went through a little bit of musical chairs trying to find guys that would stick. And so these guys are it. But we went through some musical chairs. And so during that time, we're like, well, we're not playing out anyway because nobody's playing. We'll just
Yep.
write some new music.
Did y'all
And,
try out any live stream stuff?
One time.
One time.
Yeah.
Never
Like it?
again. No, just
Really?
kidding. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe again.
I fell in love. I'm still trying to figure out a way to do it.
Really?
In now times, like
Yeah.
even though people would be like, they'd probably be like, "What the fuck? No."
Yeah, I liked it. I really, really thought it was cool at first and kind of a novel idea. Like, that was really smart. But then after, all you have is
That's true.
live
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah.
And, during COVID, you're missing going to concerts, right? And that live experience.
Yeah.
Like, I just was like, oh, I can't watch another live stream.
I like the.
You
I'm a very theatrical person, so I like the theater of it.
Right
so you
on.
can do something maybe you can't.
Sure.
Because you can force the perspective. It's like shooting skits or anything like that, or like a show or anything. Now I can show you how I envisioned. It's like a music video but long form.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
that's what I liked about it. And then of course, it's like, well, I'm trying to do it with no money. Me and Kurt. I know you make money, but can we just do this for no money? This big long thing that would cost $100,000 in any other situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised. There's some guys out there that do it really, really well, man. Like you would think, a lot of money was being spent, but they just figured it out.
Well, that's
how to do
one
it,
thing
you
COVID
know?
did give us was
Yeah.
where everyone found the abilities.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Technology went.
Yeah,
for this kind of
even
stuff.
doing music videos. People are doing music videos at home and shit.
Oh.
It's like,
We did one of ours in a fucking ice cream truck with a cell phone. I edited on that phone that day.
wow.
and put it up the next day.
That's crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't have, you know.
It was also a 57-second track.
Hey, shut up.
That's
But
funny.
it still worked, and it was still great. And we shot it 3 times, and we wanted to die. It was 111 outside. And,
Oh,
and the
wow.
ice cream truck doesn't have air conditioning.
Oh, wow.
And I say ice cream truck, it's literally probably slightly big. You could fit the whole vehicle in this room.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It was dumb. Y'all have any music videos?
yeah, we got a bunch of music videos on YouTube. Yeah, if you just Google our name, White Label Analog, like anybody out there that's going to be listening to the podcast, we're real easy to find. We're on all the streaming services. We've got a YouTube channel. We've got a website.
It's a unique
you
enough
know.
name, too. I feel like y'all are probably the only one with that
I
name.
think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I haven't seen one so far, so that's
Yeah, we're going to have to start adding full sentence band names.
Well, you know, a lot of times we just call ourselves WLA because it's like, you know, white label long name, you know.
I'm in a band called My Hands to War.
Okay.
I hate saying it out loud.
Yeah.
I just say MHTW. We actually talked about changing our name to
We've done
just
the same
MHTW.
thing. We did
yeah.
the same thing, man. We did the same thing. Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, unfortunately, ours is a mouthful whether you do the acronym or not. WLA.
Yeah.
WLA.
Oh, right.
It's
It's like a radio
yeah,
station.
Still get your tang tangled. Yeah.
Yeah.
WLA.
Yeah. Right.
Austin, Texas. How you doing? It's probably hot as shit there already.
Oh,
isn't it?
dude. Yeah.
Like, it's pretty bad here, but
Like it's warm here, but it ain't Texas hot. It's not. It's still not Texas hot.
where'd y'all tour around the Midwest?
We just did it was just a quick Midwest run. So with these guys, we hadn't done any kind of touring yet. We played some regional dates. We played a lot of local stuff, and we just wanted to get out there. Jordan lived in Chicago for a while, so
Okay.
we booked a gig at the Cubby Bear in Chicago, which is a really cool venue right next to Wrigley Field. So we played there. We played a place called Melody Inn, which is kind of a punk rock bar in downtown Indianapolis.
Good shows there?
Yeah, they were fun,
Yeah.
super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good turnout, especially for the Chicago show.
The Cubby Bear. That
yeah.
does not sound like a
Yeah.
venue name.
Yeah, well, you know,
Sounds like a furry meetup.
A little bit.
right? Yeah.
Where'd you guys
yeah.
play? The Cubby Bear.
Yeah. Yeah. I met a power bottom. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. They have a really good production value there. Just
Hell
nice
yeah.
stage,
Oh.
good lights, and
Love
they
that.
had like actual, you know, a venue's doing it right when you actually have a person that just does monitors. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I think we're in a good spot here. You know.
This place makes money.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. They're doing something right. It wasn't a home game, like there wasn't a Cubs home game the night we played, but I've heard that at least from Jordan, like when there is a
gets
Bears game, yeah, that it's like pretty lit over there. So,
That's the next.
but maybe the next time
now
we
that you
play,
have an in though,
right?
route it
yeah,
where it's like definitely
yeah.
a home
I think
game.
I think we proved ourselves. I hope we did at least.
Yeah.
So.
That's the toughest part, right? Go to a new place, try not to be a dickhead.
Yeah.
Even on a bad day, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Even if they're being dickheads, right?
and we wanted to do more dates. We just couldn't. We it was kind of a last minute idea. Like normally, you know, we'd spend 6 months or longer booking a tour, but we're like, okay, in a couple of months, where do we want to go? So we kind of just strung these dates together, and that's it. You know.
I mean, just play wherever.
Right.
It doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah.
Faces is all you need.
Right.
Is the goal to do, like, you know, we all want to be rock stars, but or is this for fun, or is this like y'all trying to like make a career out of this? Is there a path?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I'd be a liar to say that, you know, that the little dream doesn't live in the back
Always,
of my head.
man,
You know,
always.
you can't let that fire burn out, right?
No.
But
or you wouldn't do it.
right.
Yeah.
But at least I know for me, Heath and I, having been doing this for 10 years already, like if we didn't love it, we sure as hell would have quit a long time ago.
Absolutely.
You know, we enjoy the music, we enjoy playing with these guys.
Hell yeah.
And it's still a lot of fun. You know.
Good fire in the.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, after 10 years, you still do it. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good run.
Yeah.
That's a great run, actually.
And we've done other tours in the past. Like I said, when we had the original members, we did a Midwest up around the Rocky Mountains and then back down the West Coast. We've done some touring. We've played in Toronto, Canadian
Any good
Music
tour
Week.
stories?
Well, we almost didn't get into Toronto.
Oh well, that's
yeah,
pretty.
Yeah, we
common.
almost didn't get
Yeah.
into Canada because
We got a DWI or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell him what he's won.
It's pretty easy for them to go. You can't be here.
Yeah, so luckily there's like I guess a grandfather clause, like where if it's within a 5-year period, they won't let you in. But it had been beyond that, so we were good. And then our van got towed. Well,
What the fuck?
we were downtown Toronto. Our bassist at the time parked in a no parking zone, and we come out after the gig, and it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're like carrying our stuff, and like, oh shit, where's our van? So we're calling around, and we like had to stuff everything we had in like a taxi. It was a mess, man. It was a mess.
Well, do y'all carry everything? Drum kit, so everything's in the van.
We do, unless it's like a festival gig, or if it's like
sure.
an international
Some
thing,
backline
then it's
thing.
just
Yeah.
guitars, and he'll bring breakables for
Right.
drums, and that's about it, you know.
Yeah,
But
good stuff.
yeah, I
Regular
feel like I'm
stuff.
talking too much here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's hard to
It's the one.
steal
mic-
the,
it's
steal the
one
talking
mic thing.
stick.
Just
Yeah,
steal it. It doesn't matter.
without the talking stick, they cannot hear you. I don't know. I don't have many tour stories. I feel like this one went really well. The closest thing to a tour story I have is that I learned that in our Chicago gig, it went really well. So I didn't really hold back with the drinking. I was like, oh, these are good times. And there was a point where my entire language center of my brain, I guess every brain cell died except for the one that remembers quotes from Shrek. So I was just walking around being like, doesn't that bother you?
Donkey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
totally.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Been
very
there.
normal, very smooth tour. I mean, all the crowds are really welcoming. The bands are really nice. Everything was really
You almost
fun.
need a little drama, right? For a
Yeah.
good tour story, you need a little bullshit,
Oh yeah,
right?
you need the conflict. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, like this lady cut off Lance's toe. What?
Yeah. Nope, nothing like that. I think touring with veterans who have toured a lot. Like this is the first time I've gone like on the road for very far.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Before this, I was just in local bands. So having people in the band that are familiar with like, oh, pack a pillow so that you have your own pillow from your own house,
Yeah.
no matter where you are. Like
Yeah.
little bits of
Huge.
advice like that. Yeah.
Oh man, tour prep. Lord have mercy.
Yeah. If we were all newbies. What's up?
How did it turn out with those pillows?
Oh well, we lost the pillows. We left them at because, and this is another thing I learned. If you're gonna bring your own pillow, make sure you don't bring a white pillowcase because that's gonna be the same color pillowcase
in.
as the hotel
Yep.
pillows,
Yeah.
and you'll think you've packed everything when really you didn't. So
Yeah. And here's the worst part is I've done a lot of touring in my past, and I did the same thing. I'm pretty embarrassed. And I also didn't bring a roller suitcase, like a carry-on suitcase. I brought bags. So yeah, I'm just like, getting my workout in every time
Just
we
a
go
backpack
somewhere.
guy.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean, I
think
have a backpack too, but I had like 2 carry-ons, and I was like, oh man, why didn't I bring a roller?
Oh, I'm just a garbage
So-
human. I just don't wear. I just like if something falls off of me, I'll just go like it's like $8 for a shirt at Walmart. Just find that.
yeah,
I'm very very low to maintenance. You ready? Be like, yeah, let's go. Very very bad. I'm the stinky one.
the stinky
The guy
one.
you don't want on tour, but you do because I'll cook every meal too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's a trade-off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tour's just vacation. Right? It's like just like, oh, 6 of your buddies. Imagine if you weren't in a band and you were like, yeah, me and 6 of my friends, we're just gonna go, babe. We're just gonna go. It's gonna be like 30 days. We're just gonna go out. We'll drive around. What the fuck? Can I come? Nah. No, we made a bunch of T-shirts with our face on it. Yeah. We're just gonna do that for a little bit. Maybe go to the boardwalk. I don't know. See what's happening. You'd be a fucking insane person.
Yeah, it's like a long bachelor party. Yeah.
Yeah, long bachelor
Yeah.
party.
How long it lasts? A month, 2 months. We're just gonna feel it out. We're out there. Maybe we get some extra stuff going.
Yeah, it's like Europe. We're just backpacking around the States,
Yeah, I guess there it wouldn't be weird. Here that
No.
would be like,
Yeah.
well, we're getting a divorce.
Right.
Hoping to play Little Rock next time. That's Stinky's last time.
Stickies, you like it?
Hanging out.
Stickies is cool. It's got a vibe.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's like the more bluesy venue for this place.
What would you so that band that's an indie rock band? Where do they play primarily?
There's a couple of places. Full Moon's a dope spot. It's in Conway, Arkansas, which Conway's pretty cool. They're a growing city, and they have a lot of. And it's right next to a bar. What's that bar called? Kings. Kings is cool.
Okay.
I think they do live music as well. Yeah. So like both of those places really, because they're right next door to each other. Here in Little Rock, we have Vino's, which is just an all venue. It's literally whatever, and it's a pizza joint. You played there?
Yeah, I played it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing's changed.
Yeah.
That's right.
It
looks.
It's perpetually the same.
Yeah, it's been
like
there
a
for.
CBGB of Arkansas.
That's exactly it. It's just a fucking hole in a wall. They serve fucking great food, and that's it. They make their own beer too.
Oh, nice.
But I gotta tell you, these bands playing Stickies are pretty off the chain. So there was a cover band that was playing while we were just sitting there eating.
Duo.
Yeah, it was a duo. It was just like a chick singing and then a guy with this little like electric guitar playing rhythm. And it started out with just normal covers of like Ed Sheeran and stuff, and we were like, okay. And it just got more and more unhinged in a good way. It was really entertaining. But at one point they were doing normal songs, and then at one point they played some kind of like hillbilly bluegrass version of Snoop Dogg. Gin and Juice. And I said,
That's so fucking weird.
I said to Heath, I was like, this is the kind of thing that you hear like when you go back in time to assassinate Hitler, and then you alter the timeline, and then you're like, everything's back to normal, and then Snoop Dogg is a bluegrass lady from Alabama. Yeah. And you're like, I've really screwed up the timeline now.
Damn it. Damn it, Metaverse.
We have a bigger venue would be like Rev Room, but that's probably, I don't know, what size caps rooms are y'all usually doing?
I mean, it varies. I mean, like on the road, pretty
most of
small.
ours are
Like
like
the Cubby
200.
Bear was 600 cap, but
That's a big one.
But typically, we do the 100,
150,
200,
200,
150,
yeah.
150, 200.
That's what most of ours are.
Yeah.
That I mean, any of those places that I just listed would be good. I mean, even Sticky's really, but Sticky's kind of has its own thing. We have another place called Whitewater, but it's like a dive bar thing. So it's like they have like their built-in Whitewater crowd, and they have
Gotcha.
people that come there for shows, but theirs sells out pretty quick.
Really?
Yeah, it's fun. It's
It's
fun.
only 100 cap, but
Yeah, it's like a 100 cap room.
Those 100 cap rooms can be really fun. I mean, you get 80, 100 people in there, and it's like, dude, like.
I mean,
you're
it's
like-
100
you're
cap,
like-
but 100 people in
yeah.
that room, you're like, it's fucking.
Yeah, that's
can't
fun.
walk
It's
in here.
rowdy. That's rowdy.
Yeah.
That's a rowdy gig.
But it's
That's
like,
fun.
would you rather play with 100 people in a 600 cap room or 100 people in a 75 cap room?
Right.
It's like, well, I'd choose
Exactly.
75 all
yeah,
day.
because that's a party, man.
Dude,
yeah, you're
give
getting
me
getting it on. Yeah, hell yeah.
My energy.
Sweating.
Give me a head.
Let's go. Yeah,
God, I love it.
yeah, yeah.
Live is the best.
It is. It is, man. It really is.
I play in heavy bands mostly. I'm in 4, but
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
I just started something more close to like, what'd you call it? I guess it's, I don't know what to call it. It's like Paramore, but it's also heavy.
Okay.
It's like a heavy Paramore. My wife is the front lady.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe that's probably what it is. It's like, but do you know who the 68 is? They use this really crazy like guitar tone where it's like an octave guitar tone, but he plays through 3 separate amplifiers, and 2 of those are bass amps.
Oh wow.
So we kind of modeled
That's
our
cool.
guitar tone after that,
wow.
but with like poppy riffs.
It's kind of Royal Blood action.
Yeah. So
sounding
it's
to me.
like it's a new idea. We're trying to like, everybody wants to be creative and do their own things.
Oh,
So
yeah.
So it's like, well, there's not a lot you can do besides blend ideas anymore. So we're just like, let's try this, and it's working so far. It's
Right
cool.
on. Cool.
But that would be something that would fit with your music actually. And we play shows at those venues, and it works. So yeah, that'd be good.
Well, shit.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Something out. Yeah.
We could absolutely do that.
Right on.
Yeah.
That'd be fun as shit. Except we always play first because I'm old and I don't want to fucking.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
So
I'm
that's
sick of it.
that's interesting talking about like the guitar tones and things. I think it's interesting how a different guitar tone or different just tone of an
Change
instrument
everything.
can change the creativity of the music. So when I joined this band, I was all like 7-string drop tuning kind
Hell
of heavy
yeah.
bands, breakdowns, and I come in here, we're playing the Strokes,
It's
kind of
in E?
Cage the Elephant. Yeah. So like when I did the first audition, I ended up having to do I think 3 different auditions because on the first one they're like, okay, you played most of the right notes, but you played it like you're in a freaking crabcore band or something. Like I had
He had the stance.
I had the stance, and I was doing
whoa,
windmills with the hair.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, if you can figure out
Like,
the
this
rig.
isn't what you want.
But it was really fun. I actually, because I only had experience with the heavy stuff, and so I actually did a lot of research on how amps work. Like that I didn't really do. I just turned the thing on and play songs, and if it's too quiet, but learning actually how the gain and the mids and like getting a whole process of like getting in your Zen moment of balancing the mids and the
that's one of my favorite things.
It was a really fun experience. Like it transformed the way I played. It was really
tone
interesting.
journey.
Yeah, the tone journey. Yeah, I'd never been on a tone journey.
It's never ending. Welcome to the club.
Well, because it comes from that old blues guitar teacher who's like, oh, tone is in the fingers, just turn the amp. That's not true. It's not. Tone is
Style is in the fingers.
There you go. Style's in the fingers.
Like if I hand the guitar to any known guitar player, like Ace Frehley, if it's a $2 amp, I'm still gonna know.
Yeah.
It's fucking Ace Frehley. He can
right.
turn a piece of shit. He can polish turds.
Right.
But Ace Frehley won't sound like him on an acoustic guitar.
Right.
And no, and I think there's still. I mean, it's subtle differences. And I think oftentimes, we say like, oh, the audience isn't going to know this little difference if your bass knob was too high. But they will notice.
Subconsciously.
Well, subconsciously, and they'll notice the accumulative difference of so many little things being ignored.
That's right.
That attention, the one detail you tweak doesn't make a difference, but the attitude of always paying attention to all the details, the audience can tell that.
I'm an absolute nerd for that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, absolute dork. I love every little nuancy part. Like in our band, we try to make everything like a theatrical. It's a thing, and like so much so that when I set up on stage, like my amps are in line with my kick drum. I will go down the side.
Wow.
Everything is very meticulously played.
Wow,
yes,
that's good. That's good.
Because you don't understand as a concert goer, but something's off. It's like, why is it off though? I don't know. Something was just I don't know.
That's
It
right.
just wasn't for me.
So how long have you been on Adderall?
ADHD, sir. I got it. OCD complex, especially for like tone things, constantly, moving shit around, fiddling with knobs.
Yeah.
Live performance, we do lights and stuff too. So I'm just like the placement of that matters. It's really particular.
Chris keeps buying a bunch of useless shit for our live show.
Yes.
It's not.
Yeah, I like lights and stuff too. I bought this really cool lighted sign that like changes. It's a neon sign. It does all this, like you can program it and stuff like that. But it's a pain in the ass to set up, and like the little jack it's got a short in it, so I got to fuck with it every time we play. And like, it's like, I've already bought two because I broke one, and the damn thing's like $350 or something. So I'm just like,
I just have to say, I
but
think
it looks cool.
We are the only band I have ever seen where the lead singer hauls in more gear than any other member of the band, more than the drummer. Like, you see the drummer stuff, it's, you see my stuff, you see and then his stuff is all these contraptions, big lights,
Big
sign, the big neon sign with our name on it. He brings his own microphone. He's like, he's got more stuff than any other, and he doesn't even play an instrument.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I do percussion. But to be fair, I was a drummer. I was a drummer for like the first half of my music journey.
You look like a drummer.
I was a drummer.
Were you a hardcore drummer? There you go.
I was a hard rock. I was Dave Grohl style, man. Oh yeah, there we go. Right on, man. Yeah, Dave Grohl style, just beat the shit out of him, kind of drummer. But
absolutely,
did that for a long time.
I'm an absolute gorilla.
And I did a lot of touring with. I had a band called 50 Mission Crush. I did a lot of touring with. But yeah, I think I'm just used to, packing a lot of gear and taking a lot of gear. So
yeah,
normal.
We have so much.
Yeah.
We have so much. We're really just a local band, a glorified one at this point. But just because now we take shows and we just do them extra special. We don't play that often, so it's like, what can we do now? We just had our album release show, and I was like, we're breaking out every fucking trick in the book.
There you go.
Screwed lights to the ceiling of the venue.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, we were there for 2 days setting up. It was nuts.
Wow. Yeah. I bet it was a cool show though.
It was fucking sick, dude.
I bet it was cool. Yeah, I think, especially if you're not playing that often, like in town, like you want to make it a spectacle.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a nerd for that.
Yeah.
You brought that up, so I was just like,
Yeah.
we could talk all day about show stuff.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because when I was one of these tones in the finger, I would always. It was like I tried to make things sound unique by adding different notes, you know. So I tried to do like a ninth chord instead of a triad,
right.
you know, instead of a power chord, things like that. And
I know some of those words.
I don't read good, sir.
Yeah.
No, but it's interesting having this whole other like world of things to experiment with.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I mean, and it's all like, again, with the meticulousness on stage. One of the dopest light shows I ever saw was, do you know who Michael Franti is? Hey, it's gone away. Gonna come back another day. Remember that song? It's popular for like a minute. So that dude played at a venue I worked at. But his light show was just fucking house lamps.
Really?
Yeah,
I can see that.
Plugged into a switcher. It wasn't even
I can see that.
It wasn't even like this big to do. Like he's got a guy with a board and they XLR'd all the like DMX'd all the ends of the lamps. No, it was just a sound switcher. He plugged them all in, but the way he had them placed, and and he told me, because I asked him, because he's such an interesting fucking guy, but he was like, yeah, we would go to these places, and I would be like, that's one of them. Like, just whatever spoke to him, like a lamp, you know? He's like, and that's part of our light show. So he went around and found all these fucking lamps to put in these, but
What a cool idea.
he's like, this one by the drum, that makes sense here. So like, this is my vision.
Yeah.
And
I see that. Yeah.
and then
Totally.
He's on Adderall too.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he didn't wear shoes. Like, he was a wild dude.
Yeah.
Very kind. But it was that was one of the better moments because he's like super open with all this information too. Which I'm the guy that works at the venue that's like, oh, what you got going on over there? What is
Right.
that? How'd you do that? I'm the annoying asshole. Like, hey, what's that setup over there? I know it's a secret, but can I have it?
So I was actually talking to some of the other Chicago bands about this after the gig, because we mentioned how we're from like more technical rock, hard rock,
Yeah.
prog kind of backgrounds. I'm used to playing for musicians, basically. I'm used to everyone
Music
coming to my
for
show.
musicians.
Yeah, and so you talked about all the thought and detail that goes into the process of putting a show together, whether that's light shows, the music itself, the playing. And what's interesting about being in a pop band now is I've realized I'm not playing for musicians.
Right.
So they're not going to notice that I did a sweep or something.
They don't
they're not going to.
they don't give a shit.
But I think that's it. No, but it's not that.
Did you move
They-
on stage? That's the
Yes. Did you
Performance.
move on stage? Yeah.
Were you a statue or did you do something? You
Yeah.
know?
So because I'm used to people watching, like, I mean, I know this is radio, not TV, but like this. Looking me in the eyes, looking at my hands and my
Watching every note.
and noticing every mistake. So I would play with a very stiff posture because I wanted to get it all right. But now I'm like, you can just make mistakes. Like, well, you can't just make mistakes, but the mistakes aren't as important as the visual
Only the
performance
chariot
of jumping
can
around.
just make mistakes where
Yeah.
you throw the guitar off stage and no one cares.
Yeah. The other thing is, I think that when you're playing for non-musicians, the rhythm playing is way more important than the lead
Oh,
playing.
absolutely.
Because we were talking about this.
Toe tapping.
What the main compliment we got, if we get any compliments at all,
Right.
is y'all sounded really tight, which I'm actually not used to. I'm used to people saying that they were impressed with us playing in 15, 16 time signature,
Yeah.
doing 5
Yeah.
key changes in one song or something like that. I'm not, but like it's interesting seeing a different kind of audience and trying to connect with them and like finding out. It's not because people say, oh, they're not musicians, they don't give a crap. I think it's more just they notice different things.
Absolutely.
Because they don't have the same frame of reference. They have a different context of what they're listening for.
They're not jaded clowns like all of us.
Yeah. They're not
Yeah.
judgmental.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. That was the one like feedback both in Chicago and in Indy that we heard is like, and they said this literally the same thing. Man, y'all are tight as fuck. That's what I swear I heard that same phrase like 3 or 4 times.
That's a good
cool.
one.
Yeah, it was good.
Especially from non-musicians. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Anything complimental, it's like, whoo, thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
My worst one is when we play in front of like if the crowd is maybe older or there's a handful of old people in the crowd. I'm like, oh no, we're gonna die up here.
We're gonna die up here.
Because one of the bands on the up front, and it's like, it's nerve wracking, right? It's nerve wracking. I didn't understand that. I always thought, why is the singer never helping or whatever? And then all people want to do is talk to the person who told them the thing on stage.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh my God. So now Now it's nice, but every time we've ever played in front of old people with that band in particular, they've always liked it, thank God. But I've always been like the most nervous, like, oh no, he's 70. I'm gonna fucking, he's gonna come and tell me I'm stupid, and I don't know why I think that either. It's like this weird self-doubt thing that I have. Not with anyone else though. Fuck everybody. It's like for some reason old people. I'm just like, oh great, here we go.
He has the wisdom to know that I'm
To
wrong.
know that I'm bullshit.
I mean, dude, if 70-year-olds are going to your show, man, you've done a good job, man.
Yeah.
You're like covering the gamut of demographics right there.
We were
Like,
just there. They were probably there for their grandsons, whatever the fuck. Like, we open.
Yeah.
But yeah, the old guy comes up. He's like, that shift key from minor to major was
Yeah,
bullshit, pussy.
You stay in minor where you belong.
He's like, oh, you're one of us, just gray.
Yeah.
that's fun.
So what's next for y'all?
Heading back home, man.
Writing
Oh,
music.
that's right. You're on your way home right
Yeah,
now.
we're on our way home, and we play a show on Friday at a place in just south of Austin in Buda, Texas.
Buda.
Yeah, called the Meridian. It's a really nice venue in downtown
heard of
Buda. So that's kind of our welcome home gig. And then we're gonna focus on writing
Oh, you're okay.
some new material.
Yeah.
So
Good.
that's kind of the plan. We do have some other shows, some regional shows. I know we've got Dallas coming up in a month or two.
Where y'all playing in Dallas at? They've only got 14
Cicada.
billion venues.
Yeah,
oh,
the
okay,
Cicada.
cool. Yeah, the Cicada. Nice.
Cicada. And from what I hear, it's been like remodeled or something. So it's
really?
supposed to be like kind of nice.
Swanky.
Yeah. And
Hopefully a good modern sound system.
yeah. Fort Worth, we're
Fort Worth.
working on a date at 3 Links in Fort Worth. We're doing something in San Antonio, probably at the Amp Room downtown near
Nice.
St. Mary's. But
How's y'all social media game?
well, that's funny. I'll let Chris.
Yeah.
handle
So
that. Like,
no,
Just discovered.
I just discovered. No. So you might be noticing a theme here, right? My guitar teacher said to only listen to Allman Brothers, and all, like I come from a very old school background.
You're learning
right?
a lot recently, I feel like, yes.
Yeah, like like when I was in high school, I listened to band like Pink Floyd and stuff. I know, and so I always feel like I'm kind of behind my own generation. Like my parents understand social media and technology better than I do. I asked them how to log into Instagram.
Dad, what's that thing?
Yeah, no, but I've been kind of discovering it, and I think I've been actually really interested in it on this tour. I've started posting a lot of stuff. And I think that one of the things that was a turning point for me was I used to think of the social media as part of the business side of the
Right.
band, and it felt like this the business side, like it's
Yeah,
boring.
ugh, that's the
I
right
want to
word,
write. I'm here
yeah.
to write music, But now I've really been spending time thinking of social media as part of the creative output of the band. Because now you can't separate. Well, you can't separate art from the artist in the same way you used to.
That's true. That's very true.
A lot of new musicians that have come up, I've noticed that it's not just singles that come out that people like. It is
the
that, but on
people.
top of that, it's building the sense of a profile, of an online persona. You're selling yourself.
You have a good way of phrasing it. I would have never looked at it like that because I fucking
it's
hate
an
it.
artistic way.
yeah,
of
That's a great way to look at
So
it, though.
I've been trying to think of it as like, what is the online persona of this band? And the way I tried to think of it is like it's this, and I'm overselling it. These are
Sure.
like really
No.
crappy. I look like a grandpa trying to make this stuff, but this is my idea. This is what I aimed for. Whether I accomplished it I was like, okay, my idea is, I want people to look at these like Instagram reels and stories and things and get this sense of like adventure of what it's like to be on the road with the band.
Yeah.
So I would like film a lot of little idle moments of us chatting and listening to
Absolutely.
music on the way there. The
good
cool stuff
parts.
we did and saw.
yeah.
I
Real
tried
shit.
to and
real
tried to get
shit,
this sense of like when you watch these, you get the sense of like, oh, you're with us on this adventure through the
See,
Midwest. And that was kind
I
of
like
fun.
that.
The other thing I found was a lot of I don't really like going to bars recreationally because they're so loud that if I think of a funny joke, no one can hear it because my jokes take a lot of time to explain. So but so I'll be like, and also they're just so obscure. I'll be like, hey, this kind of reminds me of the Byzantine emperor from 1215 AD or something. But no,
I noticed you didn't laugh at that. Let me explain to you why.
Well, because my sense of humor is basically it's funnier to watch me struggle to explain the joke than the joke itself. But what I found on social media is I can make these like silly little posts, like basically these shit posts. So I filmed one of the bands playing, for example, and I saw that he was playing an Epiphone. And he had this beautiful Gresh guitar that he kept on the rack for the entire gig.
Never touched
and he was rocking this Epiphone like, bang! So I made like a little joke about that. So it's stuff like that, like funny jokes. I'm like, oh man, if I try to say this out loud in real world, no one's gonna understand it. But maybe it'll be funny on social media. So
because you have to show them the point.
Yes.
I get that. I get that totally.
Well, and to be fair, like I'm kind of like the jack of all trades, master of none, wearing all these hats in this band, and
there's always one.
Social media was one of my things that I was doing because nobody else was doing it. When Jordan joined the band, he started pitching in and started helping me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, thank God
like
somebody else is
dinosaurs a new thing. And it's just like,
I'm a T-Rex. I have little hands.
No one gives a shit. Like that's where I fuck up. It's like, well, you phrased it. That's actually very good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to sit on that and think about that because you're not wrong.
Yeah, but even our drummer Heath started pitching in a little bit, and he's warming up to the idea because in the beginning nobody was doing shit,
right?
And I was struggling to come up with ideas. Like you can only post so many promo pictures or so many live shots.
That's right.
People get bored, you know.
Yeah.
And so what Chris is saying is absolutely, correct.
It's the other shit.
It is
the things you
the
like
real
are the
shit.
things they like.
They want to be a part of the experience. The
yeah.
people that follow you want to get to know you a little bit or feel like they get to know you.
Absolutely.
Before the days of social media, people would buy albums, right? And that was your part.
That was
your way to connect,
yes,
right?
absolutely.
Oh, you're reading the lyrics, you're looking at the photos,
God,
and like
those were the
the
days.
art concepts and all that stuff.
Lyrics,
That reeled you in. You'd sit there and look at that shit and listen to the whole fucking album, and be like, oh my God,
the whole day.
And so you felt connected to the band. Well, nowadays it's social media, right? So what Chris is saying is like spot on because like bringing your audience or your followers into that realm really, really makes them feel more connected to you.
It's brilliant.
So
that's a good perspective.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm also missed the old days. I mean, I was listening to like Gregorian chants while I was doing my makeup this morning. But you got to embrace the new times.
This polyrhythm of this Gregorian chant is out of this world. It's in 37/400.
37/44. Yeah. So, I don't think you have to lose that old school thing to embrace the new. I think you just have to bring it to a new medium, bring it to a new context.
You have to change your mind. Right. Context is everything. I'd say.
Yeah, it's that struggle of like you're retaining your old sense of identity, but bringing it into a new setting.
I mean, adapt or get lost in
That's
the
right.
dust.
I mean,
get lost in the
you're
dust,
not wrong.
right?
Yeah.
As much as I complain about it, I'm like, look, I guess I'm either willing to get lost in the dust or I'll eventually change my mind because that's what will happen.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid to the notion of it. I'm just like, I just miss being good, and that's all it really was. Because it is a little weird, but like you're giving yourself away to everyone, and now anyone that meets you, say you're in Little Rock, you're from Austin. I don't know you guys, but if I watched all your content, I was some sort of super fan. I know everything about you. You don't know a fucking thing about me. So now I have to
some
prove
freaky
myself.
shit if you come up like you, like,
and they're like,
oh my God,
"How's
I
your
fucking
kid,
stuck her."
Kevin?" Oh, is she walking yet? You're like, who the fuck are you first?
That is a little bizarre when you think about it, but
So you kind of have to live in that world.
but
where
that's
they
just
just
been
know
going on
everything.
forever, though. If you think about it, like the big
it's like-
stars and stuff, they get stalked, and people are so fanatical about it.
yeah.
So, but that hasn't happened to us
But
yet,
now-
really.
I mean, you can get a stalker on any level these
Right?
days.
Yeah. No. I guess
internet.
it's only now because we're getting a little bit better at social media.
Social media and then a little bit of notoriety.
We have an awakening, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it. Well, that's why like the way I'm trying to approach it is I'm consciously trying to separate the persona I'm projecting
Trying
on
to
social media
project,
versus my true.
right.
Yeah, I'm not. There's no sense of this is my true self. This is a kind of ghost.
Character.
It's a
Yeah.
ghost of us that's
Yeah.
projected on
Right.
those things.
That's good. Just keep a few things secret.
Yeah, this is a entertainment I'm offering to others.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't. Yeah, trying to separate yourself from it a little bit.
See, I'm too honest. I get myself in trouble. If
Yeah.
they left me to make the videos, they'd be like, "Well, you're arrested."
Yeah, see, not everybody needs to know where the bodies are buried.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's a problem.
yeah.
that's funny.
How long we got, Kurt?
Right at 12:03 or 50 minutes.
Boom.
Cool.
Okay.
Well,
Is there
We did
anything else you want to talk about? Like,
I mean, I will talk for 7 hours. So if there's an out, we just kind of got to go because I will talk about
yeah,
literally
no,
anything.
that's cool.
I think it's very cool that y'all reached out. This is a first for us. So y'all are the first.
Really?
Mark it on the calendar, number
Dude,
one.
you didn't know? See, we've been following.
See,
You're
this-
fucking famous. You don't even know it. Like, how's your kid? Is she walking yet?
Invisible, and I hate that bitch. No, I'm just kidding. So this is cool. This has been fun as fuck. Y'all
Appreciate
are
it,
awesome.
man. Appreciate
like
it.
the tunes.
Right on.
Y'all should holler at me. My band Crow's your band. That would actually be a really good, decent show.
Cool.
So like,
Yeah, let's
Cool.
do
Let's
it.
set
do
that up.
it. Yeah.
I could get a third or fourth. Y'all like mixed band bills? Y'all like mixed genre?
Yeah, I
shows?
mean, like
Well, we-
whatever works for the venue. You know what I mean? Like we like
I just make
a
it
little
work for
variety.
myself. I don't like the venue. I just make it work for me.
I mean, we've played all kinds. We've played,
Okay.
you know, very vanilla where everybody's a indie
same
rock,
thing,
and you know,
yeah.
I think it's more exciting to have a little bit of
do
variety
too.
in there.
Put a hardcore band on there or something.
Yeah.
Do something fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, plug your stuff real quick.
Right on. Okay. White Label Analog. You can find us really easy on just by Googling our name, White Label Analog. We've got a website. We're on all the streaming services. We've got a new EP out called Maybe Tonight, Maybe Forever. And thanks for tuning in and checking us out. Little Rock. What's up?
yeah.
Crashcast, baby.
All right.
And thanks you guys for having us, man. We really appreciate
Literally
it.
anytime. Next time you come through, do it again.
Right on.
Crashcast Pod, Twitter, Crashcast Pod 1. Check us out on Patreon. Please, please, please. Waters are $13 for 8 of them now. So, thank you, everybody, for listening. Peace.
All right, man.